Hello, 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 Stampers. Happy annual catalog launch day. Today is the day that we can actually finally share the inside of the catalog and we get to order products from the new catalog. So exciting. I always find a new catalog so much more, or so exciting. It's like better than Christmas for me. My name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Alberta, Canada, and I'm excited to be here today with you to share some of my favorites from the new catalog, some things that I think it's important to note in the new catalog, and then we're going to do a crafty project as well. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Let me just make sure my screen is straight. See if that's a little bit better. Okay, yeah, that's a little better. All right. Okay. Oh, look at you. Gail knows the routine. Okay, that actually serves as a reminder. Yesterday I went live and I created these two projects using the Sending Smiles bundle. And I drew the lucky winners. So the way that you can get your name entered for today's project is just by participating in the conversation. Whether it's live or you catch the replay or you watch it on YouTube, it doesn't matter. I will do a draw like about half an hour before I go live tomorrow morning, and somebody will win the card that I create today. So the lucky winner for this card is Susan McLevin, and the lucky winner for this card is Kim Lewis. So I will pop those in the mail for you. Thank you so much for sharing, Joan, and for sharing, Gail. I appreciate that. And thank you everyone for all the wonderful comments yesterday. I had so many comments on the video. It was nice. And for all of those of you who shared. Okay, so if you've got the annual catalog, you might want to pull that out, as well as a highlighter, a pen, and maybe a wish list, so that we can go through it. And I'm going to point some things out just in case you've missed them. And I'm going to share some of my favorites along the way. So you can see I've got lots of tabs here to share. We're not going to go page by page. Okay, first of all, I know that I'm going to get a ton of questions on where this came from. And I had to look long and hard to find that. So this little thing here is from the dies that coordinate with this set. So we're going to flip to the back here. And if we go to the bundles, I'll share the page in just a second. Let me find it. I did not flag this page, and maybe I should have. I think it's called, here we go. So Blossoming Happiness on page 163. There are two edgelit dies. One of them is like, it almost looks like a film strip, and then the other one is like a page ripped out of a spiral notebook. Okay, so I had to look long and hard for that, because I love the look of that. So that is where it came from. Okay, and you'll see it throughout here. Okay, so first up, we're going to flip to page 3. This is the table of contents. So this is where it breaks it down. We've got all of the suites listed, accessories, and more, the host and join, and then you've got punch bundles, die bundles, stamps, and accessories. And then there are the icons. Now these are not all of the icons. There are a few more icons listed throughout. But anything that's new is going to be marked with an N. Okay? All right, and that's really what we're interested in. Okay, next up, we're going to go to page 8 and 9. So this talks about Stampin' Up's coordination. Coordination is definitely one of the things that drew me to Stampin' Up. I love that they've got products that coordinate. So here it talks a little bit about the suites. So how you can get a collection of products that all coordinate. So there's paper, there's usually stamps or a bundle, stamps in whether it's a punch or stamps and a die. Sometimes there's ribbons, sometimes there's specialty paper that goes along with it. Sometimes there's embellishments. The suites vary, but they all are meant to go together. That doesn't mean you can't use other products with them, but they're meant to be a nice little collection. And then they talk about the die cutting, the bundles. So we have punch bundles and we have die bundles, and that is an opportunity for you to save 10%. So if Stampin' Up! Has designed a stamp set that has a coordinating product like a punch or a die set, when it's first released, you can purchase that as a bundle and save 10%. Okay, and you'll find those throughout the catalog. And then of course there's color coordination, which is always fabulous. So in any of our colors, you will find cardstock, ink, sometimes there's a ribbon that coordinates, sometimes there's an embellishment that coordinates, sometimes there's Stampin' Blends that coordinate, there's Stampin' Rate markers. So you can find a lot of things that coordinate, and that was really what drew me to Stampin' Up! As a scrapbooker. I found I spent so much time in the stores looking for products that coordinated, because back then things didn't necessarily come in collections. So this is really nice. They take the guesswork out of it for you. Okay, next up, we're going to go to page 12 and 13. Now we've got 5 new in colors, and we're going to talk about those extensively today, because we're going to use them in today's Make and Take project, or today's project. But I wanted to point out that these cards and envelopes, and actually I meant to grab them, they're right here. Let me just pull them out so I can show you. So these are part of the Tea Boutique suite, which I shared the DSP with you yesterday in yesterday's video. It's got all 5 of the in colors, as well as crushed curry. But these cards and envelopes coordinate with this suite. They come in all 5 of the in colors. So you don't have to use them with this suite. Like, look how pretty that is. So, and there's one for each. There, let's pull these all out. One for each color. So there's the Parakeet Party. Aren't those beautiful? I love, love, love the envelopes. Here is Sweet Sorbet. This one is Starry Sky. And then we've got Tahitian Tide and Orchid Oasis. There we go. They are so pretty. So you get 4 each of all 5 of those colors. And like I said, they work really, really well. I mean, they're meant to coordinate with the in colors. Okay, so I wanted to point those out, and then moving on to page 18. Now throughout the catalog, you'll see these little push pins, and these are, I encourage you to go through the catalog and look for those and read them, because there are some great little tips here. It says here, keep project sections ink free like this white border by covering them with masking paper, which is a fun new product that we are carrying before adding color or stamping. So you will definitely see me using masking paper sometime in the future. So you can see here, they've got the masking paper around the edges, and they're doing some ink blending, and then this is the finished sample. So they've got a nice crisp frame around the edges. So you can find that masking paper on page 149, which I believe, yes, I do have it in my notes, so I'll point it out when we get there. Okay. And of course, you know, throughout, I'm not going through every page. There are some great products in between, so make sure that you check out the catalog and look at all the beautiful samples. There's tons of samples. All right, page 26. I wanted to point out this fun go-to greeting stamp set because I think it's different. So there are three different fonts, and all of the greetings come in all 3 fonts. So there's Just a Note in this really scripty font. There's Just a Note in this font, which is a simpler script font, and then Just a Note in this font. So each one of the greetings comes in all 3 fonts, which is kind of fun because sometimes, depending on what you're using, the style of the card, you need to switch out the font, right? So if you're doing something that's a little bit more elegant, you might want something that's really scripty, where if you're doing something just a little bit more casual, you might want something like this. Okay, so I wanted to point that one out. And then we're going to page 38. I wanted to point out these charming sentiment dies. Okay, so here is another greeting set. You know I love my greeting sets. But this is fun because I don't know if you guys are like me, but I love to fussy cut around my greetings, especially if it's a scripty greeting. that's really trendy right now. So this actually, they've designed a die that does that for you. So you can see the outline around the set shows that, or around the greeting shows that there is a die that coordinates with it. So each one of these has a die that will cut around the words. So if you look at this sample up at the top, this woohoo, see, I would have normally just fussy cut that, but now they've designed dies to do it for you. So it's quick and easy, especially if you do not like to fussy cut. This would be a great one for you. All right, so, and there's another little tip for you. So take a look at those push pin notes. Okay, and then throughout, there's a few of these examples throughout the catalog. Okay, so the little clock, that shows that it's a quick and easy card. Okay, it's a quick and easy project. But what I wanted to point out about this one is this one shows a beginner sample, a casual sample, and an avid sample. So depending on your level, and you might be somewhere in between those. So it's a great idea on how you can step up your projects. So you could start with something like this, and then what they've done is they've added strips of paper in behind the greeting, and they've done 2 colors for the greeting and added some little gems. And then here they've stepped up the background by adding the little bathing suits in the background and fussy cut out. Okay, so that's a great example of how you can kind of step up your card. So if you start with something like this and you feel like it needs something more, then maybe add something behind the greeting, add multiple colors to the greeting, add some little dots. Okay, so take a peek at those kinds of projects. Next up, here is one of my absolute favorite suites in the catalog. I absolutely adore this Happy Forest Friends suite. It is so cute. The paper, you can better believe it was on my order this morning. The paper is so fun. The style of the stamp is so different from what we normally carry. It's just so adorable. And you think that it's baby, but I think you can use it for a lot more, like especially the paper, the ribbon, and even some of these sets. If you've got outdoor photos or you've got you know, some birthdays or thank you cards that you want to do, you could definitely use this. All right, so that's super cute. And if you look, there are some great coordinating dies, or sorry, complementary dies in the die set. So there's dies for each one of these little images, but then there's some complementary dies in this set as well, like the trees and the, I think there's some leaves and an acorn, and those kinds of things. And I love the little mushroom and the mushroom TSP, so cute. Okay, next up we are, okay, another gorgeous, sweet Abigail Rose, which I wanted to point out that Stampin' Up! Has released some branded products today. So you can find them on my website. If you go to stamptreasures.com, and up at the top it says Shop Now. And then when you go to the website, I click the drop-down box in the upper left, and one of the items, one of the sections that you can look at is branded merchandise. I believe that's what it's called. Just branded something. I'm pretty sure it's branded merchandise. And there is some great new branded products that you can purchase. Now, normally those types of things are only available to demonstrators, but they're making them available to customers now as well. And there is the most beautiful Abigail Rose hoodie that you can purchase. It is absolutely stunning. So this is a beautiful suite, which I will definitely be using for treasure chest at some point. It's got some very neutral DSP, but look at this ribbon. So for this example here, they've actually stamped right on the ribbon. It is they're calling it a natural finish ribbon. It is a thicker ribbon, so it's 7/8 of an inch, so it is thicker. So probably not too many bows are going to be tied with that ribbon unless it's for gift packaging. But they stamped on it here, and then this sample, they've taken a marker and just colored one end of it, or one side of it. And it just adds so much detail. I just love it. So I can't wait to get that ribbon and play with it. So there's that collection, and then we're gonna go on to page 62. Now I wanted to point out these craft note cards and envelopes. So note cards and envelopes are a little bit smaller than our traditional, our regular sized card. They're a little bit smaller, but we've got craft, note cards, envelopes, and they come with a little box so you can make a little gift package. I thought that was really fun as well. Okay, and then on this page, so page 64, I wanted to point out this Stronger Together stamp set. I think this is such a great stamp set. So it's got girl power, here for you, hey girl, you rock, the world needs more women like you, and together we are stronger. I think that's just such a great set, and a set that's really timely. I think we all need to stand together and show our support, so I thought that that was really fun. Okay, here is another one of my favorites on page 78 and 79. He's the Man, Sweet. Love this suite for a couple of reasons. First of all, I love, you've heard me say this before if you watched my unboxing, I love that it's not specific to outdoors, it's not specific to fishermen or people who are guys who like cars, or you know, people who love to barbecue. Like, there's a little bit of everything in here. The dies are fabulous because even though they're meant to coordinate with these greetings, all of them are shape dies. So you can use them with a ton of other sets that you already have. So there's a bunch of different label shapes. And then there's this great background shape as well. So this is one that we are going to be using over in my membership group in July. I've already started planning the projects, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's super fun. But the other thing that I want to point out is one of the 12 by 12 patterned papers is die cut pieces. So this whole front sheet, it's a full sheet of 12 by 12. All of the pieces are individual, like there's no repeats, except for maybe some of these little stars, but you just basically just pop them out. So they make great embellishments for your scrapbook layouts or for your cards. So you can see many of them here. So this one, this one, this one, this one, this one here, this one is stamped. These here, so you can see a nice mix of them there. And this background piece right here, that is one of those as well. So this is a really fun collection. Okay, and then we go to page 86. Now check out these split card texture dies. How fun are these? So they just basically cut like kind of like a little triangle section. You can see it in this example here, how it's meant to cut. So that is this one, and then there's this one, which I don't know, I didn't notice a sample cut with that one. But that's something fun and a little bit different that we haven't seen before. Okay, and then this one. Okay, you know what? I just need to pull out this DSP. This, if you know me, this is not one of the sets that I would normally be drawn to. I bought it for the B side of the paper, but I love it for the A side. So it is so pretty. And now you have to look at it in smaller sections. It's overwhelming when you look at it, or at least I think it's overwhelming. Okay, first let me show you. This is the reason why I bought it, was for these sides. I love these patterns. Just kind of like watercolored, actually I don't even know if they're watercolor, painted kind of backgrounds. And they're all different colors, so colorful, such fun paper. But then when you look at this side, okay, this one is a bit overwhelming. But this one is fun, but look how the colors. So you've got strips like this. So we've got some fresh freesia, then we've got some darker purple, some pool party, some Bermuda Bay, and then yellow and orange and flirty flamingo, and then some pinky red. So when you cut the paper this way, you get all of those colors in it. And it's like that for many of the patterns. So again, here you've got your strips going across this way. And this one is, I think this one is more diagonal. And here's some more. And the dies that coordinate with this suite will cut out the paper as well. And for those of you who do not like to color, so this is a line art stamp. So for those of you who don't like to color, all you need to do is stamp it on the background and then die cut it, and it's colored for you. Okay, so that is one of the patterned papers that I absolutely love. And like I said, I did not buy it for the floral side, but that is the reason why I love it after creating this. Take a look at this project. This is an upcoming class. You can find it on my events page. Look at this fun little mini album. I'm calling it a mini pocket album. And this is what made me love this paper. It's so fun. So if you want to learn how to create this, check out the details on my blog. There's an option for everyone, whether you live in Canada or if you are outside of Canada. So check that out. This is great. This is going to be great for you to use the pattern for over and over and over again. You're not going to believe how simple it is to put this together. Okay, so make sure you check that out. Classes towards the end of June, but registration closes a lot earlier than that. So, okay, all right. So that is the Hues of Happiness suite. Okay, next up we've got, all right, so now we're into the accessories and all of this stuff. So you guys can take a look through that. I wanted to point out the punch bundles. So these ones, anything that is bundled and you could save 10% is listed. It starts on page 151 and there's a couple pages of it, 151 and 152. Those are the punches that are available as a bundle and you can save 10%. Today we're going to be using this Bottled Happiness bundle along with the new in colors. And then we've got the die bundles. Those start on page 161 and they go until the end of page 167. So there's lots of great die bundles. And again, you want to take a look at those because you can save 10% by purchasing the stamp set and the die set. Okay. But then I wanted to also point out, sometimes we only focus on the dies that are available as a bundle and we miss those that are only available on their own. So they're meant to be more complementary to some of the things that we might already own or some other new products, but they don't directly coordinate. So there are lots of those in, if you take a look on page 169, anything with the little N is new. So for example, this one here doesn't have a stamp set that coordinates with it, but it would complement many stamp sets. Okay, look at this fun one, these deckled rectangles. Do you guys remember back when fancy scissors were in style and there was a scissor that was deckled edge? Well, here we've got dies that give you that same kind of look. It kind of has like a vintagey kind of feel, which is kind of fun. So here's some tags. There's lots of them. Here's fabulous frames. Here's another fancy frames. So there's lots of them. I do want to point out this fun one. Oh, did I not flag the page? Here, look at these rugged icons. How cute are those? And they would go so well with that He's the Man suite. I think those would be really fun. Here are those split card textures dies. These ones are sequins. So there's some larger sequence dies. So they've got the details on them. You know, the little kind of the scored bits on sequence. These have that detail. So you could create, can you imagine cutting it out of like some glimmer paper or some shiny metallic paper and then doing a project with that as the background? So fun. Okay, what else have we got here? Let's keep going. We've got some new embossing folders. Okay, page 179. We have got our host program. So these are the Stampin Rewards. So when you place an order of $200 or more here in Canada, you qualify for Stampin Rewards. So it's got a little chart showing you what you qualify for, but you can use your Stampin Rewards and redeem for free product from the annual catalog, but you could also get free host rewards. The only way that you can get those is through using your Stampin Rewards. And do you remember last year in the previous catalog, there was this fabulous paper pack. It was a package of 48 sheets. It was called Pattern Party. It was a fabulous paper pack. It's one of my favorites ever. Well, there's a new paper pack. It's called Design a Daydream. And there is a better picture back here on page 135. So there's a better picture of the patterns here, but this one looks like it's going to be really fun as well. So it was on my order this morning, so I can't wait to see what it looks like in person. It is a 12 by 12 paper pack. There's 48 sheets for each of 12 double-sided patterns. So that's something to keep in mind. It's got a $40 value, and you can't purchase it unless you're placing an order that qualifies for Stampin Rewards. And it'll cost you 24 Stampin Reward dollars. Okay, and then there's a few other stamp sets that you can redeem for as well. And this one here, Begin With a Dream, is such a fun stamp set as well. Okay, and then last thing I want to point out is the starter kit. You guys have heard me talk about it. You hear me talk about it all the time, the opportunity to become a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. The starter kit is $135, no shipping, no GST, and you get to choose $165 worth of product. Plus, right now, from May 3rd, so today until May 31st, Stampin' Up! Will throw in an in-color starter kit. And let me show you what that in-color starter kit is. So you will get a package of 2022-2024 in-color cardstock. So I believe it comes with I should have double-checked, four of each of these colors in 8.5 by 11. So these are all the new in colors. So pretty. We've got Orchid Oasis, Parakeet Party, Starry Sky, Sweet Sorbet, and Tahitian Tide. You'll get a package of the 6x6 in color DSP. So this is side number 1. So you get 48 sheets, I think. Let me just double check. I don't want to lead you astray here. 40 sheets. So that is the first side on those patterns, and then here is the back side. I love this little plaid one, and you can't go wrong with polka dots and stripes. Okay, so you get all of that, and then you will get all 5 of the new in color full-size pads and a package of in color grid paper, which I don't have, so I can't show you that. But all of that product is valued over $92, and that you will get for free when you become a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and purchase the starter kit, which is completely customizable between now and the end of May. All right. Okay. So the other thing that I wanted to do, because we're going to talk about in colors today, I'm going to slide this stuff aside. I wanted to share the other products that are available in the in colors. So we've got, of course, the paper, we've got the designer series paper, we've got the ink pads, we've got Stampin' Blends, we've got the Stampin' Write markers, but there are some other great products as well. So I think I squealed a little bit when I saw this, because you guys, if you watch my videos, you know I'm a Baker's fan lover. I love Baker's twine. You can get all 5 of the in colors in Baker's twine. So fun. So that is available. There is a beautiful ribbon, which you saw me use yesterday, and I'm going to use again today. I love, love, love this ribbon. I think part of it is because it is so thin, and you can tie a bow really easily, and it won't add bulk to your project. So for me, it's very similar to Baker's twine. That's one of the reasons why I like Baker's twine. And it's just so sparkly and pretty. So we're going to use this Tahitian Tide today. Okay, I'll set that aside. And then we've got the 2022-2024 in color matte decorative dots. Now I wanted to point out that these are actually ombre. So you get all 5 in colors. There is some Sweet Sorbet. They're just up behind the label. And so they go from dark to light in 2 different sizes. All right. And then, of course, we need a little bit more sparkle. So there's some 6x6 ombre glimmer paper as well in all 5 of the in colors. Look how sparkly that is. Look how pretty. Love it. So that's another fun in color product. I think I've covered everything. I don't think I've missed anything. Okay, so you've heard me talk long enough. Let's go ahead and let me share what I'm going to be using today. Okay, so I am going to be using the Bottled Happiness bundle, which is from the annual catalog, as well as the In Color DSP, the Tahitian Tide Glimmer Ribbon, the Tahitian Tide ink. And I do want to point out that we also have, to coordinate with this, these little vintage bottle shaker domes. And look how tiny these are. They're so cute. I actually haven't created with them yet, but I can't wait to. Can you, like, you could do like a little message in the bottle, just roll up a little scroll and stick it in there. It's so fun. And they're so tiny. I just love them. So those are available that coordinate with that suite. So if you do pick this up, or not suite, bundle. So if you do want to pick this bundle up, that might be something that you add to your order. Okay, this is also the bundle along with the In Colors that we will be focusing on at our next annual catalog extravaganza, which is on June 4th. We'd love to have you join us. There are options, it's a virtual event. There are options for anyone, doesn't matter where you live. You can place a minimum order of $60 using the extravaganza host code, which you'll find on my events page. You can pay a class fee of $39.95. It will give you access to all the projects. We do six bonus videos for 6 days leading up to the event. We do a Facebook Live featuring some of our favorite products and introducing the new In Colors. And then our make and takes will all be focused on this bundle. So it's going to be a fun, it's always a fun event. And you get the PDF afterwards. So if you miss part of it, it's all held in a Facebook group. We also have a website if you're not on Facebook. And you can access the information at any time. But we also send out a PDF afterwards so that you can reference that if you want to go back and rewatch any of the videos or recreate any of the projects. All the measurements and everything are in there. Okay? So you can check my events page for more information on that. And let's get crafting. All right. So today I'm going to create this card with Tahitian Tide. But then I'm going to share it in all of the In Colors to show you how you can get a little bit of a different look, but with, the same look, but with different colors. Okay, so first of all, I've got a 2x3 piece of vellum. The first thing that we're going to do with this is we're going to add a little bit of color to it. So I'm just going to bring it in a scrap piece of paper. I'm going to use my blending brush and some Tahitian Tide. Going to take my blending brush, I'm going to tap off the excess, and I'm just going to hold the corner and add a little bit of color. Okay, so this, here, let's put it around on this. So you can see that we've added color to our vellum. And then I'm going to let that sit aside just to give it a little bit of a chance to dry. We can move that out of the way. Now I've got two 4x5 1/4 inch pieces of white cardstock, and one of them is going to be for the inside. For this one, I'm again going to take my blending brush, and I should have kept this here just to tap off the excess. And I'm using a really light hand. So when I did the vellum, it was a little bit firmer with the pressure, but for this one, I've really got a light hand. I don't want any streaky marks. I just want it to look like there's just a little bit of color in the background. Okay, so that looks good. And then we're going to take this floral image. So this is a 2-step stamp. So you've got your floral bit and then you've got your green bit. We are just going to use the floral bit for today. And again, I'm going to use 2 ink colors. I'm going to use the Tahitian Tide and then also Memento. Okay, so I'm just going to ink this up and we're going to stamp this right on here. Okay, so just like that. And then on the inside piece, I'm just going to do everything while I've got it out here, while I've got my ink out. Okay, let's get these pieces out. I don't want any uneven surface. Okay, now I'm going to take this bottle and I'm going to ink it up. I'm going to stamp it down. Okay, and then we're going to take this little sprig, we're going to ink it up, and then we're going to stamp off, and I'm going to fussy cut this, but I just want to use this as kind of a guide, and then I'm going to stamp off. So I wanted to show lots of the coordinating in color products, and I wanted to show the ink used in a few different ways. So if you are a relatively new stamper and you don't have a lot of ink colors, this is a way to get a couple different shades of the same color. So by stamping off. So this is full on, and then this is stamped off. So it looks like a lighter version of the same ink color. Okay, so that's a great little tip if you don't have lots of colors, but you want a little bit of variety. So now I'm just going to fussy cut this, because although there is a punch that goes with this stamp set, it is for the other bottle. So this one does need to be fussy cut if you are going to use it. Or I guess if you want it cut out. Okay, so almost done. Thankfully, they're really easy to cut. Okay, there we go. And then this, I'm going to take some of the baker's twine, and I'm just going to tie a little tiny bow with it. You can wrap it around the spout of the bottle if you want to, but I'm just going to use a little bow and just add that on there just so that it doesn't have the bulk, since it's going to be on the inside of the card. We don't want too much bulk, and I'm going to add that right on there. Stick that down first, and you know what, we're going to use dimensionals. So we probably could have wrapped it around. Okay, stick this on. Just like that, and then we'll use just a little mini glue dot. And I'm just going to fold my mini glue dot in half to stick it on here, just so that there's no excess. I don't want my card to stick closed. And look how cute that is. That's for the inside of our card. Okay, let's go back to the outside. All right, so I have a 2 by 4 inch piece of white cardstock that I've gone ahead and I've embossed using the painted texture embossing folder. And I'm going to flag the end of this. So I'm going to take my snips and just go up the middle, and then snip up to that marking, and then we've got a little piece of that in color DSP. So far, if you were to purchase the starter kit during the month of May, you would get this DSP, you would get the ink that we used in all 5 colors. Our card base comes from the in color mixed pack, so you'd have that in there. Because the starter kit is customizable, you could add the Baker's Rose, whatever product that you want, to total no more than $165 to make up your starter kit. And you only have to pay $135. It's like a crazy good deal. Okay, so we've added that strip. That's just 1/2 inch by 2 inches. Okay, now we're going to bring in some of this ribbon. Now this isn't some of the free stuff, but you could definitely make this ribbon part of your starter kit. And I'm going to wrap this around here. And we would love to have you. Actually, all of our team members get access to the extravaganza for free because it's a team-led event. So that is a great perk to being a treasure stamper. And we are a Canada-wide team. We've got demonstrators in almost every province. We do virtual monthly team meetings, and it's lots of fun. We do a monthly mystery stamping event as well. So fun. Okay, so I'm going to snip the ends here, and look how pretty that ribbon is. Okay, and I wanted to show you one more thing with this ribbon. If you take your paper piercing tool and you kind of run it, you can fray the ends of this ribbon, and it has a really wispy, fun look to it. So I'm just holding the knot so that I don't pull my bow apart. And I'll give you a little bit of a closer look here. And look, you've got these nice wispy ends to your bow. Okay, I'm going to tuck a little mini glue dot right underneath that knot. Just to hold it in place. It feels like it's a little loose. There we go. Okay, now we're going to bring this back. This is going to get popped on using some dimensionals. All right, we got lots of people watching here. Let's see here. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Tracy and Kim and Linda. Good morning, Elaine and Judy and Leanne and Gail and Lori. I know, I love these new in colors as well, Lori. Seriously, they're just so bright and cheerful, and they all work so well together. Okay, make sure we've got all the backings off. Okay, and then we're going to pop this on here like this. Okay, that looks straight. We can add that to our card front. So this is just a standard size card, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'll just use a little bit of multi-purpose glue to adhere it. Right in the center. And then we might as well go ahead with the inside of our card. Like that. We got to stamp our envelope too, which I forgot. Okay, and then I just need to grab my Memento ink. Here we go. And we're going to use the greeting that says, "Let's get into the spirit." And I've got a little strip of white. I'm just going to ink this up. Stamp it on this strip, and then I'm going to need to trim it down just a little bit. I probably want it to be about 1/4 inch rather than 1/2 inch, but that was the strip that I had. I had a scrap left over, so I'll just bring in my paper trimmer and trim this. There we go. I love this little, it looks like it's typewritten. I love it. Okay, and then we're going to use our snips and just angle cut this just a little bit. And then we can come back to our vellum. And we're going to bring in our punch, and we're going to punch our bottle. So it's going to look like our bottle is colored. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Okay, so now as far as adhering this, what I'm going to do is I am going to use just a little bit of multi-purpose glue right across here, because I know that my greeting's going to sit on top of that and cover that over. But the thing about multi-purpose glue, you can add that all over and just use your finger and brush it in, and you won't be able to see the adhesive. Okay, and then here, we're going to use a dimensional here, and then some flat adhesive right here. And then we're going to strategically place that so it's right over top of that adhesive that we just added. And I think we need a little bit more. Okay, there we go. So the other thing that we could do, you know those little matte decorative dots? We could add some of those on here. So we are using the turquoise. So let's see, let's take, we'll take one of each size. Actually, let's reverse these. We're going to use this big one down here. And then we'll take the small one and put it up top. And we've used so many different in color products to create this fun little card. Okay, so let's just going to take a little bit of multi-purpose glue, add that behind, take my finger and smear it, just because it's sitting up a little bit and I don't like the look of that. There we go. Okay, now I need something to wipe this off. And our card is done. Now, like I said, I promised to share it in all of the different colors. So there is, the only difference is I did not add the dots because I didn't have the dots when I designed this card, these cards. So there it is in Sweet Sorbet. There it is in Parakeet Party. So each one I colored in a different, I colored the vellum in a different color. Here is Orchid Oasis. And then here is Starry Sky. Aren't the new in colors just fabulous? Love them. And this color, this Parakeet Party, it's very bright, but you know my favorite color to combine it with so far that I've played with is Coastal Cabana. Parakeet Party and Coastal Cabana together look absolutely amazing. It's my favorite color combination right now. So anyways, just a couple reminders. Reminder that you can place an order from me if there was anything at all that got added to your wish list. You can either place an order using the May host code, and I will send you either the card kits to create these two cards that I shared yesterday, or you can choose the blue adhesive backed sequence, or you can check out my events page, and if you use the host code that is affiliated with the event, you'll get a free event. So check that out. And if you love this stamp set and want to, or this bundle and want to see more, make sure that you check out the extravaganza details because we have got lots of great projects planned for you featuring the Bottled Happiness bundle and the brand new in colors. All right. And then lastly, if your wish list is really long and the starter kit might be for you, then I'd love to have you join our team. You can check in the description. There is a link to join my Canadian team. We'd love to have you. And if you have any questions, just reach out. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. All right. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you back here at 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time tomorrow morning. Take care. Bye, guys.